Hi friends, welcome back to Liz's Reading Corner, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Liz and I like books, and today we're doing a library haul. I had a completely different video that I was meant to be putting up this week, but when I was going through and editing it, I actually realised that the sound was terrible, and so here we are. So library haul it is. So most of these books are books that I've seen in videos from other YouTubers and they've either not liked them or just rated them like either really low or just a very average sort of rating, so like around a 3-star rating. And so it made me interested as to whether I would be interested in reading them. Some of them are completely different genres to what I would normally be reading, but what is life without a bit of variety, right? First, we have The Maid by Nita Prose. This I saw in a video, I believe someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone on YouTube did a video and this was in it and they didn't like it. And so it got me curious as to what this was about. This is a murder mystery about a maid who is just a maid. She cleans in a hotel and she finds a infamous guest dead and then has to help. For some reason, she has to help find the killer or find the clues as to what happened to this infamous Mr. Black who has turned up dead in the hotel. So, murder mystery. Obviously, I've read murder mystery before. I'm curious as to why people are not really liking this. It has on Goodreads an average rating of 3.78 stars, and I am curious as to how I feel about it. So next is a book that I would not normally read. It is Shark Heart by Emily Havoc. This was in a video by Books with Emily Fox. I can't remember which video. I absolutely, in the future, I'm going to actually start writing down or like taking note when I find books from videos on YouTube. I think, I want to say it was in her books that she doesn't recommend. It was either that or one of her crazy book reads. I can't remember which one. Anyway, Books with Emily Fox is where I saw it. This is a magical realism fantasy romance. Obviously it says love story right on the cover. This follows a couple just a few weeks after the wedding. Her husband is given a terminal illness and he slowly turns into a great white shark within the first year of their marriage. It just sounded really interesting, even though it's a love story and I constantly say that I don't like romance and romantasy. This just seemed like, well, it is a love story, more of a fantasy book with romance undertones in it, which I can deal with. Like, if there's not crazy amounts of romance and crazy amounts of spice, I'm okay with that. So this seemed like a really interesting read, and the way that it is explained had me intrigued. Next is Fragile Threads of Power by V. Schwab. This has been on my radar for a while. I've wanted to read it for a little while, and I've seen quite a few people on YouTube talking about it, and it seems really, really interesting. I believe this is the first book in a series. I'm not sure if it is actually linked to anything else. I have never actually read any of V. Schwab's books, so this will be my first one. So if you have any recommendations or you have a favorite of their books, I would absolutely love to hear it. Next is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This seemed interesting, it's intriguing, it's a murder mystery. Yeah, it's a murder mystery. This person has to go to a family reunion and everyone in their family has killed someone. Obviously, title says it all. I've seen different opinions on this. Some people, it seems to be like really divisive. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Just a lot more people seem to not like it than like it, but I'm really curious as to how I feel about this. I have been on like a real murder mystery kick lately, and even though I started the year out with horror, apparently murder mystery is where I'm at right now. Just mood reader life, basically. So yeah, Murder mysteries is where it's at right now, apparently, and I think fantasy is the other main genre that I'm reading right now. So hopefully this is a good one. It has 3.81 stars on Goodreads, so that's got something going for it, I guess. The Golem and the Ginny by Helene Wecker is next. This is actually a beautiful book. This has got sprayed edges. Sorry, this is from the library. Obviously, it's the library haul. This follows a golem and a ginny who have to work together in order to navigate their way through 19th century, turn of the century, between 19th and 20th century New York. So and they're just basically, from the description, because obviously I haven't read this yet, they're basically just trying to navigate a completely different environment to what they are used to. So this, I believe, is high fantasy. It's got 4.13 stars so far on Goodreads. So this is book 1 in a series, so it's going to be interesting as to whether I enjoy it. I haven't liked a Jinn or Genie series ever since I've read the Bartimaeus trilogy, so hopefully this is interesting and redeems the Jinn theme from books. Next is Black Prism by Brent Weeks. This, I'm pretty sure this is something that I've wanted to pick up for a while. I've seen it sitting in the library a couple of times and I just finally reserved it. So this is book 1 in the Lightbringer series. It follows a priest. Yeah, a priest. So he's a priest called a Prism. Prisms have very limited life spans and he knows exactly how long he has to live, apparently. And then he discovers that he actually has a child that has been born in a kingdom that is far from where he lives. So this is going to be one of my fantasy reads. We have 3 reads from the Goodreads top 100 most difficult novels to read, which is a vlog series that I am going through, meant to be going through. That was actually what the video for this week was meant to be, and then, like I said, I looked at the footage and I realized that it was terrible, and so the first 3 books that I have read, I have now had no footage of, so that's awesome. But anyway, so we have number 37, The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. This actually has a really sad story behind it after the author wrote this, but I'll go into that. So I'll go into these more in the vlog that I am doing. So The Satanic Verses, American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I believe this is number 74 on the list of most difficult novels to read. And number 17, House of Leaves. This is actually, from all of the research that I've done, considered the actual most difficult book to read on the internet. I'm actually a little bit intimidated to read this book. If I'm honest, it is, if you haven't seen inside of it, it has all different writing styles. There's like pages that are written on the diagonal, there's pages that have just like 1 sentence on them, there are pages that have code in them, there's pages in different languages, there's pages with writing in completely different directions on the same page. I am, like I said, very intimidated to read this. If you've read this, I absolutely would love to know what your thoughts were on this. I will be getting to this very soon. These next 4 are part of the book series that I would like to finish, vlog series that I have started. The Daevabad series by Shannon Chakraborty. I have read The City of Brass, so the first one, The City of Brass. These were available on Amazon Prime, and that was where I actually started getting into the series. These first 2 books are amazing. If you love fantasy, I highly recommend them. They were phenomenal. So I will be rereading the first 2 books because I haven't actually read them in a long time. It's been like 2 years or so since I read them. So I think it would be good to just get like a refresher of what the story is about. And then we have the 3rd book in the series, The Empire of Gold and The River of Silver, which is a collection of stories from, I believe, different characters that are within the Daevabad series, like their stories or from their points of view. So it's just like a little novella, but it's super exciting that there is just even any extra stories from this trilogy. And then we have my Just Because books. So we have Nolan by Michael J. Sullivan, which is the first book in the Rise and Fall series. I had actually borrowed, I think it was like the 4th book or something, or the 3rd book. I had actually unintentionally borrowed the 3rd book in this series, and when I realized it was the 3rd book in the series, decided that I was going to add to the book series that I am reading this year. So Nolan, here it is. And then we have The Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. So this is another T. Kingfisher book I've heard a lot about. I've seen a lot of people talking about them and it has piqued my interest, and so here we are. This is a YA novel, which I don't necessarily hate. Like I do enjoy some YA novels. Some of them, it obviously depends on how they're written. But yeah, this is just another one that piqued my interest, and it is a Just Because, so I got it. just because. So that is my library haul. Like I said, I'm trying to change my videos to more vlog style, and I'm planning on going into the books more in the videos as I do the vlogs. There will be some overlap with like more sit down style videos, and every month when I do my monthly reading wrap up, I will probably just sit down like this and talk to you. I'm like I said, my plan is basically to go more into the books when I'm doing the reading vlogs, so that way these sit down videos are not quite so long. That was my library haul for this week. I don't tend to normally get this many books from the library at a time. Usually it's just like 1 or 2 at a time. So I tend to put books on hold. So I place a hold on these books, and then when they come in, I obviously go and pick them up. So about once a week I go to the library, but like I said, usually it's only 1 or 2 books that I pick up, not 15 of them. And thank goodness for the library, because if it wasn't for the library, I wouldn't have anywhere near as many books to read. Have you read any of these? I would love to hear your opinions. Are they on your TBR? If you have any book recommendations for me, as always, I would love to hear them. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what I do, and I will see you all in the next one.